You buddy.
Pretty close.
Pretty close. Time being 7 o'clock, Monday, November 18th, 2024. I'd like to call the regular scheduled council meeting to order. If you'd all please stand, face the flag, and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, one nation, under God, liberty, justice, and liberty for all. Okay.
Want to do it again?
Yeah. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. That was embarrassing.
Said it a million times.
Welcome. I'd like to introduce and welcome our, I think it's the first time Stan's been at a council meeting, Stan Lowry, our town attorney. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Nice to have you here. Next item of business is public input. Anyone may speak at the public input for a period of 3 minutes on an agenda or non-agenda item. That time may be extended if by consensus of the council, if it's required. First person to speak is Josh Broad. Josh? Oh, Jason, I'm sorry.
I wanted to discuss the county bluff.
Okay, this would be your time. There's not a public hearing tonight.
Gotcha.
No.
So is it okay to ask questions?
Absolutely.
I'm Jason Boehm. I live at 962 Orchid Hill. My first question is, does the council have documentation that shows that the owners of this land have a access to the land from the easement that is highlighted up here?
We have documentation showing all the easements and right of way. That doesn't matter who owns the land, but it's easement that to whoever owns that property. But there's one on the eastern border, one on the northern border, and one coming up off of Canyon Bluff.
Okay.
There's 3 different access points to that property.
Okay. My next question is, if this is approved, what's to stop the gentleman that owns the remaining 6 acres over there from splitting up 3 2-acre lots, and then we're going to have to go through this all over?
There's nothing to stop that. If he has if that's RE2 zoning, he can divide his 6 acres into 3 more 2-acre
And
lots.
so then we may wind up with 8 or 9 families using that road.
That's possible.
That's all I have. Thank you.
We can't keep anyone from as long as they meet all the conditions of zoning and plating. We can't deny it. We cannot.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Sue Tamel.
All right, I noticed what you have up there and the 60-foot wide easement that's on the eastern boundary of my 10 acres. That easement was relinquished totally in March of 1991 because I would not buy the 10 acres until the developer, Jerry, took that easement. And the man who had the right to that easement, who was Kent Collins, who is north of the 2 acres you're talking about, relinquished my easement on that 10 acres in order to have a western 60-foot wide easement that he could enter from the western part. He comes up that road that comes up of Copper Canyon, Orchid Hill, and then he comes to his property. And he had a private ingress and egress 60-foot wide easement that he exchanged and relinquished mine totally. So I will bring the documents to that before the next meeting so that you know that. But there is no 60-foot wide eastern easement anymore.
Okay, but it continues to show up on all of our documents from 1992.
Right. 1982, yes. 1991, no.
But in 1992, the property was replatted, and that document shows that easement. And then every from 1992 through current, it was replatted again in the area was replatted in 2018, 2019, 2023.
Yes, and I will bring the document that shows that it was relinquished totally.
Tonight's action is preliminary plat, so.
Yes.
No, tonight's action is a final plat, so there won't be another opportunity for that.
Well, I will still bring the attorneys and the,
But that'd be, yeah.
okay. All right, thank you.
Very good, thanks. And by the way, that's our new addition. We just purchased that. So everything we see here, you guys can see there if there's questions, and we can point to it. And the town attorney, town administrator will point stuff out as we go on if necessary. Anyone else in public input? Hearing none, seeing none, I'll go to the next item, which is staff and mayor's report and council report. I don't really have anything to report on tonight. Council, any council members? Hearing none, staff report.
Mayor, I got a few updates. Just to give a couple updates on the Finance Committee, we're going to bring the investment policy and the budget policy to you guys for review next month in December. We have our annual Christmas event on December 7th from 3 to 5 right here at Town Hall. So just want to remind everybody of that. And then also, we've been long waiting a signal light at 407 in Vickery. That is still in the works. TxDOT is creating those plans and everything. So that is scheduled to roll out at that intersection this summer.
June 25.
Yeah, June of 25, so in 2025. And then also the Estates Bridge project, the county is looking for engineering firms to start working on the design phase of that. And that project should roll out probably late 2025 as well. So that project's coming. The other project I wanted to talk about tonight was the Charter Communications. They're coming to town. And so they just submitted their permit. So we're reviewing that. We should have that done maybe by the end of the week. Some of the things that we'll be doing as a town is we're going to put a lot of communications on our website. So they're going to roll this out in 4 phases, each part of town being a phase. So along Copper Canyon Road will be a phase, along Orchid Hill will be a phase, the Woodlands will be a phase, and then Jernigan and East Jernigan will be a phase as well. I've got representatives from Spectrum tonight and Charter, so if anybody had any specific questions they wanted answered. But as we get closer to that project kicking off, which will probably be in December, we'll have adequate communication on our website as far as who to contact. They will also hand out some door hangers as they are working in each phase to let residents know within 48 hours that they'll be in their front yard. They'll have to call for dig tests and all the things they need to do as part of a right-of-way, work in a right-of-way. So you may see some flags out there that identify water lines and those type things that are typically in your easements. So just want to give you guys a quick update to that. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
I don't have one on Spectrum. I do want to know, can you give us an update on the accessory building on Canyon Bluff? Where does that stand today?
So on Canyon Bluff, that's still in the court system. We are waiting documents. We required them to x-ray the slab. And so we're waiting on those documents to confirm whether that slab was constructed correctly. And then also for an engineer to sign off on it. And it's scheduled for the docket in December.
All right, thank you. Council, you have anything but Spectrum's kind of new for us, so we don't have any information in front of us, so it's hard to ask questions.
Yeah. So more information to come.
Okay.
So like I said, we've got representatives here if y'all have any specific questions that they could answer for you.
Good. Council, any questions? Right. Hard to have any questions when you don't.
I'm guessing they're laying a new files line.
Yeah, so they're going to be laying the infrastructure. It would be that first phase. They're also doing a lot of aerial, so they'll be attaching to CoSurge poles to go along with that. So you'll kind of see both methods used, and then after that they bring in their fiber.
Chief, you have anything for us?
All right. Roger Ty, Chief of Police. Most of you know me. There's been 43 calls for service. This is as of October 21st. We've written 66 citations, and we're currently at 11 case reports. We had one report drop in October for it was a identity theft. Just as a reminder, everybody should be checking their credit statements and making sure that nothing unusual is popping up. That's what happened with this individual. Someone opened a loan in their name and they thought it was just spam coming to their email, and somebody had opened up a fraudulent loan. So just be cognizant in checking that out. We had some officer involved training. We tested the preliminary patrol rifles and we finalized what the builds were going to be. So we're pushing forward with that. And all of the officers just recertified in CPR and AED. All of our vehicles are equipped with AEDs. So since we'll probably be the first ones there before our more qualified EMS FD folks, we have that capability though. So just as a reminder, if you call and we don't pick up immediately and it's something that can wait, leave a voicemail. If it's something that's immediate, call the sheriff's office, not emergency line. Again, if it's an emergency, just 911, that'll get somebody rolled in right away. Whether we're on duty or not, Denton County Sheriff's Office dispatches for us, so they'll be able to get a hold of somebody immediately. And by all means, please continue to email, call me, stop by the PD if you have any questions, concerns, or just thoughts, or you just want to say hi.
I have a question, Chief.
Yes, sir.
I know, because I kind of got a call or a text, and you, the night we got 911, your officers went to there was apparently a homeless person
Yes.
knocking on doors over on Orchid Hill, alerted one of our citizens who texted my wife. My wife said, call 911. We've had before an issue with the homeless in the core property. Is still an issue with that, or was this a one-on?
We don't really know where this guy came from, and the officer did locate him and didn't have any wants or warrants. So he did have some funds, so he took him to a motel in Louisville as a courtesy and to remove any potential other issues he was doing.
Okay.
So I really think it was more of might have been drug related, mental issues. We weren't really sure, and there wasn't anything to arrest him on since he had left that residence before the officer found him.
All right. Well, but they found him in the area.
Yes.
Though. Okay.
And he had moved on from that neighborhood, but the officer.
Then it was our officers.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And also, Mayor, just want to go ahead.
No, Chief, what was the gentleman doing? Was he asking for?
He was saying that his arm was broken and screaming for help, and then he wandered off. So
Yeah, he actually was. Hey, what my wife got was Sylvia was that he was looking for help, and he needed help, and she said she would get help. She called 911. So.
and when he was located, he said something was wrong with his arm, but he didn't appear to have anything going on. So he declined EMS when Officer Jewett contacted him. So he checked him, no wants, warrants. So he said, "Do you have any money? Place to go?" And he located the nearest motel and took him.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you.
And just want to remind folks, as the vacation season is nearing, if you want the officers to stop by your house while you're out of town, you can go to our website and fill out the form, and they'd be happy to do that for us.
Fire Chief, anything? Chief on?
Chief Vaughn is not here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Vaughn, you have anything?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Mr. Engineer, you good? Okay. Next item is consent agenda. Any item on the consent agenda may be removed by any member of council for individual discussion or consideration. So council, you have 5 different items in front of you: October 28, 2024 meetings, October financials, resolution 224-12, voting for candidates in the election of the Denton County Central Appraisal District, approval of a resolution adopting the town's covenants of application and prohibiting technology policy, approval of MWH Group, certified public accountant, as to engage in, as I guess our 24 audits. Anything to be removed or any questions? Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion to.
Motion, we approve the consent agenda as stated.
I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Councilmember Lieber. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, motion carries. Next item is action and discussion items. The first one is discussion and consideration taking action regarding appointing planning and zoning commissioners. We had Brian Martin, who was an existing commissioner. He didn't get his application in quite in time, but he did get it in, and he would like to continue his role as a P&Z member, and we would love him to do that. And there was I believe Sherry Gale was on P&Z. She would like to actually go down up to CCPD board.
That is correct.
Okay. So with that being, I'd entertain a motion to approve Brian Martin as a planning and zoning commissioner.
I'll make a motion to appoint Brian Martin.
I have a motion by Councilmember Andrews.
Second.
I have a second, Mayor Pro Tem. All in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous, motion carries. Next person, also a late comer with Randall Smith, consideration for the Board of Adjustments alternate member. Was there a
I'll
motion?
make a motion, we accept Randall Smith as an alternate for the BOA.
Okay, I have a motion by Mayor Pro Tem, second. Second,
I'll make a second.
second by Councilmember Andrews. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, unanimous, motion carries. Next item of discussion, consideration, taking action regarding appointing Sherry Gale as Crime Control Prevention District Board member. We really appreciate that, stepping up and doing that. This is a new board, and I know they had a meeting tonight, correct?
I'll make a motion, we appoint Sherry Gale to the CCPD.
I have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem. Do I have a second? Second by Councilmember Gibson. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, unanimous, motion carries. All right, the next item is an item that we tabled for, to this meeting. It is discussion, consideration, taking action regarding recommendation from Planning and Zoning Commission regarding a final plat of Canyon Bluff Edition Block A, lots R6-1 and R6R-2, being a replat of Block A, Lot 6 of Canyon Bluff Edition. Council, myself, Councilmember Liebert, the applicant, city attorney, town administrator met. We walked through every plat and every discussion that, and discussed everything that pertained to this lot to be sure we had in order, that it was in order and ready to move forward. Part of the issues here, one main issue that I think where we got to this point was this is kind of backwards. Typically, a person would buy a lot that's already platted, permit ready. You can move forward, build your lot, get your permit going. This one was purchased under meets and bounds and with no guarantee of a permit. And now we're being asked to plat it after they purchased the property. So it was actually handled in reverse. However, we went back to 1992 and pulled up every plat there was. On every plat, there is access to this lot. There is no landlocking taking place. By platting this property, you're not creating a landlocked piece of property. There is a documented current easement from 1992 to current on the eastern border, on the northern border, and coming in another small right of way coming in from Canyon Bluff that would attach to this property if required. We have no jurisdiction or just put a dog in the hunt in the battle of what happens with any neighboring properties having issues with this, because we can't, this is a civil issue. Our concern is what's in this red line on this plat. There's a description that shows the road kicking out into the 30-foot easement, a right of way to the north. So you have that particular one where the road kicks out to the north and goes into the 30, this is the most recent. We are not approving that road. That is not our decision. We are not approving that. By your action tonight, you would approve or deny this lot 6R-2 Block A, period. with 30-foot right-of-ways, 60-foot right-of-ways from two different ways. But that road kickout, that is something that would be an agreement between the property owners, not the town. So you are not approving that. We're not putting ourselves in that position. If the homeowners do not all agree that they can use that 30-foot right-of-way, which would be a 90-foot total right-of-way, then the property owners have to go back to their 60-foot right-of-way and go back inside that fence line, basically. There's a plat that shows Mr. Collins has the right to use the 30-foot right-of-way and the 60-foot right-of-way. He absolutely does have the right. It's called out, but it doesn't say that he is exclusive. It just says that Mr. Collins has the right to use the right-of-way. So from what we could come up with, what we figured and what we understand is that this is a legal request. It checks all the boxes. There's no reason to deny because they've checked all the boxes of our requirements. Chase, you were there. Would you concur? Or?
Yeah, and you can go down the rabbit hole of the access, but from what I understand, that is not our responsibility for our attorney to ensure that their access is legal on paper outside of what's been presented. And nor should we have to verify that every subdivision's roads that go into it have adequate title. All we can look at is the lot in question. Does it meet our zoning requirements? Is it on paper present access? Now, that doesn't also guarantee a building permit. So I went and did a little research on some other subdivisions. There's lots of subdivisions with lots that are completely in floodplains. So they platted it out, but they won't ever get a building permit. Doesn't mean that we're giving a building permit. This is just a split of a lot and apparent access, but we, again, are not required to ensure this access. That's a civil matter, as I understand. So there may be some questions there. It's on the civil side, but that's not our responsibility.
One of the requirements that we are requiring on this plat, if you approved it tonight, is that all property owners that's affected by this must sign the plat. So that's Mr. Smock, right? Simon Smock, he has to sign off on this. Who's all the signatures?
And Mr. and Mrs. Bates.
And then us. So Smock has to sign off on this because we're accessing across his, they would be accessing across his property.
Correct.
Is that correct? What about the owners of lot 4R? Do they have to sign off on that?
No.
They don't.
It's just everything inside the red lines.
Everything inside the red line. Okay.
So
And that's before we would sign off on it. Plus, they have to have a all-weather road to accept the fire, 85,000 pound fire truck. They are not required to have a turnaround because it's a one lot scenario. Is that correct?
That's correct, according to the fire marshal.
Mayor Pro Tem?
yeah, so just to be clear, I haven't done all the research you guys have done. I've done some digging in this. What you're saying effectively is that we don't have discretion regarding this matter.
Right.
It's a legal procedural process that we have no discretion in. They've done all the things that they need to do legally to meet the criteria that the town has
Right,
for
they meet our
guidance on.
subdivision requirements.
Correct.
They meet our zoning requirements. And so we have no discretion to deny the plat.
That's my question.
Yes.
But Stan, let me get under those conditions that the mayor just mentioned with the signatures.
That's correct. Yeah.
There's three, it'd be Mr. Smock, Mr. Bates, the Smocks, the town will sign on before the mayor and the commissioner, chairman, P&Z chairman would sign off on it.
That's correct.
Okay, council, any questions?
Right, so if we don't move forward, then we would have to deny it and give reasons why.
We're on a 30-day clock. So the 30-day clock ends in 2 days from the time that they pass planning and zoning. In 2 days, if we do not take action, it automatically approved.
Right.
If you deny, you must have a reason to deny. I know we don't like to have to approve something, but
Mayor,
we must.
So the owner of 6R-1 is small. That's one of the parties that needs to sign it. And then the owner of 6R2 needs to sign it as well.
That's correct.
This is past planning and zoning.
That's correct.
Chris, you went through your checklist on this. There's nothing that we're missing here.
No, nothing being missed. The only thing that is still to be determined if it does go through is what the front yard setback will be. And that'll be determined when and if they try to pull a building permit, because that'll set the footprint of the home.
But there's no reason to have that in place today without knowing what that would look like.
Correct. Because of where this lot is and how it's offset from the road, and the access is undetermined in terms of how they're actually going to put a driveway in the face of the home.
Got it. Okay. And Stan, apologize if this is redundant. We have no reason then to deny this.
That's correct.
And if we did deny it, we would have to come up with a reason that we were denying it.
Which gets us back to your first question. We
Correct.
Good.
No discretion.
No discretion.
Right.
Not that I have a problem with it. It's just, I want it all laid out for the audience, councils, what we have to do as a group and why.
And the owner of the, I'm sorry, just one more, sorry, Mayor, one more thing. The owner is clear that this is not the same thing as a building permit.
Correct.
And
They're very clear.
And we've said that 3 or 4 times in this meeting, that that's a separate transaction, that's a separate item. And that we expect there to be some degree of conflict involved in that.
There'll probably be conflict involved between neighbors on this. I would anticipate as soon as somebody pulls up there with a low boy and offloads a D8 cat to try to get access to that lot and starts tearing up a chip seal road that was just put in, that there's probably going to be a phone call to town hall. But again, that's not something we can sit here tonight and deny this over. So
That doesn't have anything to do with us today.
no,
Okay.
I entertain a motion to approve, council.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion by Councilmember Gibson. Is there a second?
I'll second.
I have a second by Councilmember Liebert. All in favor to approve?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous, motion carries. Next item is a discussion, consideration of anything to be put on the next agenda. Hearing none, the next item after that is executive session pursuant to section 551-074 Texas Government Code, personal matter, to deliberate and evaluate the duties of the town administrator. Time being 7:28. We will adjourn into executive session. There probably won't be any action after this. So you're all welcome to stay and wait for us to come out in a little bit or go home. It's your choice. Chris, we don't need you to stay. Dan, we don't need Time being 7:25, council is closed, 8:25, council's closed out of executive session and back in normal session. And there's no action on executive session, so I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Have a motion by the Mayor Pro Tem, second by Councilmember Andrews, all in favor,
Aye.
unanimous.